I'm Brad Jewett.
I'm Tim, the Trailman.
And now, Keeping It Real. Sponsored by Hines Ranch Jeans, Blue Ribbon Custom Tack, Letchworth Bits and Spurs, JewettEquine.tv, Chauffeur Dog, Silver Dollar Circuit. And now, Brad and Tim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. If you've been here before, if you're new, we thank you for joining us. We got Tim Kimura. He may be on your left side of the screen or the right side of the screen. I don't know. But for me, he is on my left.
One to go.
We are debuting our new logo that we played with today, and we're pretty happy with it. Let's see, we've got, I don't know, we were talking to Dean before, hoping for a big Great White North crowd tonight. We'll see if anybody jumps up here and says, hola from the Great White North. Tim, what'd you do today? What was your big project you had today?
Honey-do list again, but it's okay. She gave me a short
honey-do list.
Yeah, but I live for that right now. I had my little kitchen room. I had to like straighten out my patterns over there. I worked on patterns, right? Oh, I had to drag the arena. I dragged the arena, drove some tractor today, tracked back in the stalls. I cleaned some stuff out. So
did you set any trail patterns today or?
Yeah, I did. Yesterday I did. Yesterday. Yeah. It's all good. Keep drawing. Every day is a drawing day. So
that's good. So do you have some horse shows that are calling you, like wanting patterns, like sounding like everything's being pretty optimistic there, or what?
Madness.
I like it.
Madness stuff. Hi, Kathy. Judd, I'm doing your patterns, man. I'm working on them. I know you guys want those. So yeah, madness is in play, and
awesome.
Red Bud's in play. Those are the two that are really on my shelf right now. So never a boring day of drawing patterns. So
I'll be at both of them.
I gotta do them. So well, good. How about you? What'd you do?
Boy, was on the phone a lot. We're just so thankful for everybody that has been on here, because who I was on the phone with was people, this thing's blowing up and people are getting excited about it. So that is what I pretty much have done all day. I did not go to the barn today. It was a stay at home kind of day for Brad Jewett, but in front of the computer, or with ear up to the phone, just trying to make sure that we keep improving what we're doing right here, right?
Yep.
That's it. Question, yes.
The blue one up there in the corner now.
What is that? What does it say?
Silver Dollar Circuit.
Silver Dollar Circuit. Good catch, Tim. A new sponsor today. Part of what I was on the phone today. We got to talk with Jan, and she got to see our program the last couple of days. And I'll tell you what, she's on board, and what better place to be able to kind of share a little bit what's going on with her horse show than right here at Keeping It Real.
Sounds good.
We'll have some more information maybe from her at some point. We may have her come on and share a little bit about what's going on in her world, and the horse show world pertaining to Silver Dollar Circuit. So thank you, Silver Dollar, for coming on.
Thanks, Carrie, too. You rock.
Yep, we've got some Karen Graham last night even said she was interested in sponsoring, and guess what she did? She called up today and said, I'm following through with what I said I wanted to do. So you will see Karen Graham show horses on here come Monday. So not to beat that stick a bunch, but anybody that is interested in sponsoring, you can inbox message me or Tim, and we'd be more than happy to get back with you, talk about our opportunities.
It's so funny, I'm looking at everyone who's jumping in right now. It's like being at a real horse show, right? That's
the beauty part of it, right? Absolutely.
GOT's in the house, Brent's in the house. Wow. Heidi's in the house.
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, we all talk to each other. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and it's what everybody's kind of been talking about. Is like, for the most part, what have you heard, Tim? What I've heard is everybody kind of really wants to get back to horse showing.
I want to, right? I want to drop the wood down again, right?
Yeah.
We all want to do something. I mean, right now we're like California's on lockdown right now. I talked to 2-3 people from California today saying that, you know, they're like a real lockdown, and we're trying to be good, staying home, doing the honeydew list. Ouch. But you know, loving what we do. We'll get back in the swing of things soon.
For sure, for sure. I'm trying to do my part in staying home as much as possible. But you know, there's just things sometimes you got to get out there and you got to go do. So I hope everybody else is doing the same thing. Remember, what is the name of tonight, Tim?
Hang on, I've got
I'll tell you. It's Triple T.
Triple T.
Triple T.
Type
the topic.
I'm trying to say it right. Type the topic. We worked on it.
Oh, we got one right there, Brent Specht. Hey guys, let's talk about the most embarrassing horse show moment.
Me?
Brent, just that's a pretty good topic right there. What's your most embarrassing horse show moment, Tim?
Dressing up like a girl's ladies showmanship. Tragic. That one, and then Sun Circuit too, because I have to admit I did it 3 times. Twice.
You wanted to be one type of embarrassment wasn't enough.
I know. It's for the good cause. I know. It was sad. Sad to dress up like a girl, but you know what? If you dress up like a girl and you're not pretty, that's a good thing for me.
Yeah, true that. And it was for a great cause, right?
I did lady showmanship. Yeah. It's interesting, but
it's for a great cause.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Absolutely.
How about you, Mr. Jewett?
You know, I've been trying to think while you were talking. And I kind of have a high threshold for pain. So maybe it'll come to me. Let me put it that way. If it comes to me, I will speak up and I will say it.
Can I do one of the real questions?
Let's do one of the questions, buddy. Okay. So these are, where'd you get these questions, Tim?
Well, this one, I'm going to do the one, well, Maya Dawn helped me a little bit. Maya from Colorado. She kind of helped me with this one. No, not she, but I'm going to ask you this. What are the common things regarding body position that in horsemanship they teach like your novice riders? Like when you first get a novice rider, like what are some body stuff that you kind of attack, but you kind of like look into, maybe start somewhere? You tell me, you're the man on this.
Yeah, you know, balance. I know it's a single word that is very easy to get into here, but to get it from here down to your feet and to have balance throughout when a horse is trotting and loping is always the hardest thing to actually put into motion. Gino, what's up? Sorry, just saw Gino jumped in there. So balance for me is key. So how do we teach balance in the saddle? For me, there's a lot of people that ride without their stirrups, not intentionally, but unintentionally. In other words, their feet don't touch the bottom of the stirrup when you're supposed to. And so that's something I see a lot, is just proper saddle fit adjustment in a saddle for a novice rider is a lot. Too big, too small seat, whatever, for sure as well. But, when your balance is off, when you're riding a horse, when your balance is off, your horse is going to have a hard time wondering where you want him to go and at what speed you want him to go to. So it's about being able to keep contact with that horse through your leg, your heel, your seat. And then, our hand is going to come in and do some things as well, but our hand isn't going to be the first thing that we want to use in order to communicate with a horse. So to keep it simple, your balance is a way to go. What would you say? How would you like to put it into
trail?
Yeah.
Like trail. Yeah. The thing I always talk about lately is I say there's a position, if you guys can see me, in the middle where I feel like that's a horsemanship position.
Yeah.
Like if you tilt a little forward, like a 2-point, you're kind of like your English position. and more to sit back behind that horsemanship position, more of a trail position, okay, for me. And as the horse pulls you over the pole, it's going to pull you forward a little bit. Unless you rock back, I think you're going to keep perching forward. And pretty soon, everyone likes to balance up here, like in their horsemanship and their 2-point, because they ride there mostly.
Yeah, yeah.
Make them the force to ride behind that spot seems hard because you don't normally work. If you're riding on the rail, you wouldn't normally ride that far back. So I find that a lot of times. And then two, my favorite, I guess, one of my favorites, is because the horse is so narrow, when the people look left or right or off to the side, especially in the back through the side pass, it really shifts that horse's body around. Like, because they're narrow and you're big, and then when you tilt, I think that really makes a difference where the back legs and the table will end up. So those are two things I would talk about for sure.
Well, I mean, all of that, you know, you talk about balance or just being consistent. All of that does. Okay, let's see what Micah Hansen. We always have a good comment from him, whether you're live at a horse show or you're like right here, right now. Does the balance thing work for the balance beam in the Ninja Warrior or the Ninja Warrior, Micah? They don't spell in Nebraska very well, I suppose.
You're a cowboy. Yeah, he's the man right now.
Okay, yes, I fell off the balance beam twice in Ninja Warrior. And that actually came to my mind when we talked about the most embarrassing thing. But then Micah comes in, all day he's like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I can't. And then he freaking goes out there and does like the fastest time of the whole thing in the Ninja Warrior. Like, okay, now I know when he starts
sandbagging.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
sandbag.
Talking about that for sure. You know. Yeah. Okay, I have another one for me.
Yeah, you're right, Jonathan. Gino, no negative comments, or you're out of here. We will ban you, brother.
Who's Gino?
Gino.
Yeah.
Who's Gino? Spagnola?
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe
we'll have to have him on here sometime since he has
chairman of the Professional Horseman Association.
Yes, he is.
He is. The new one, brand new, right? Congratulations, Eugene. Okay, I'm going to go for Dean here. Okay, he's one of our best here. What type of trail equipment should we have at our arenas at home? So I'm going to give you the quick version. You have my little screen here.
Oh, you want me to pop that screen up? Hold on 1 second. Let's get you that little list so that everybody else can kind of see what, Tim, do we have it up there?
Here's my first list. Real quickly, 12-foot poles, I think you should have 20. There you go. 12-foot poles, 20. 10-foot poles, 6.
Hold on, Timmy. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'm covering up.
Okay.
The 12-foot poles, around 20. That'd be a nice number to have. Many people have more than that. 10-foot poles, 6. 8-foot poles, 8. 6-foot poles, 4. You know, I would have a block per pole that I own. I'd have a rope gate with a rope or a solid gate or both. Then you don't have to have the bridge, the wire box, the flower boxes, the brick walls. But in the year 2020, maybe a sack of cans, maybe a rain slicker, maybe a mailbox. Those are just common things that I would have at my arena, right? If you have those, you can have less. Do you have the other picture?
I do.
Hi, Gino. Hi, Maya. Oh, water box. I put water box up there, Maya.
Yeah, water box is on there. I saw it.
Yeah.
I sees it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the poles.
That picture of that
coming
pole?
At you.
So on the right, there's the 12-foot pole. Then the blue pink represents the 10-foot pole. The landscape timber is an 8-foot pole. The red one's a 6-foot pole. Then there's a various different types of blocks we have, the small blocks, the medium blocks, the Becky George block, the mega block, the Carson block.
Becky George block. What's the Becky George block?
The pink one.
Oh, the pink one. Sorry.
Yeah, the Laker block, and make sure you have some cones too. So those are things that I would have outside. You know, that's Vomerville right there. Have a pole rack.
Do this right here.
Have a pole rack. So that's what I think is the answer to that question.
What about the hose? What's the hose over there for?
To water your arena down.
Look at how clean
I dragged the arena today.
well, I'm saying it looks good, brother.
I helped Tina pick up the grass that she mowed, but I helped pick up the grass anyways.
It looks good. I'm very, very, very impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed. What, anybody that is surfing around here. Did we miss anything? Wait, is Tim missing anything here in his picture?
What?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying, you're hard to catch, Tim. I mean, you're pretty always on the spot. So, I'm just giving people an opportunity to say, Tim,
The gate, the
you
bridge,
missed this.
the pole rack. What?
Sack of cans?
What?
There's no sack of cans there.
No, but I have it on my list. I know.
You have it on your list.
You know
Okay.
why?
So that is what we're going to do. One of these episodes is you're going to have a sack of cans, because there's some people that haven't like seen the sack of can deal yet. So maybe they need to understand a little bit what that sack of can is going to kind of.
We do have an article on the sack of cans, like on my Facebook.
Who wrote that article? Not to give
Cynthia-
anybody credit here now. We want to make sure. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Cynthia Canterbury, Nancy Cahill, Brett Maxwell, I think. They were the ones that were on our committee. Yeah, no, Chauffeur Doe. Tell them that. Oh, the dogs. The dogs weren't in the picture.
The dogs. What the heck? You didn't go? Did you take your dogs to work today?
No, they were there. They were inside. How about this one? Don't give Tim more ideas. I like that. The tape measure. You're right, Lee. The tape measure. Have a nice tape measure outside.
Nice. Chad said things. Yep.
Okay, very good. Tape measure is definitely a one. Okay. I'm gonna keep
Tina
going.
said your horses don't do trail, Tim.
They don't. They don't do trail. They don't have to. I'm never home.
We have a request to look at the list of obstacles one more time. So hold tight.
Right fast. If you want, we can post it. We can post it too.
Do we see it? Yeah, we can post it on Facebook for sure.
Post that one.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, don't give Tim any more ideas like that. Can I ask you another question? Ready for
Me?
this? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, are you going to surprise me? Is it going to be like a?
Well, it's on my list. It's on my list.
Okay.
Tell me what type of place that you and Monica like to go eat at.
Oh, easy. Mexican.
Okay.
Hands down. Mexican food. I could eat it maybe 7 nights a week.
What do you order?
Okay, so at one place, the fajitas are unbeatable. So my appetizer is a beef nacho, and then I get the beef fajitas. At another place, at another Mexican restaurant, I get chicken enchiladas. At another restaurant, it's kind of a chicken enchilada, but it's real clean. It's like shredded chicken, guacamole inside, and a corn tortilla. That's pretty clean. That's it. No sauce on it. No nothing.
Wow.
It's awesome.
You have a cocktail with that?
Huh?
You have a cocktail with that?
Oh, of course. Yes. The spicy jalapeno margarita right there, man.
Okay.
Spicier the better. Spicier the better. Say what?
That restaurant could be a sponsor.
Sure could.
Yeah, right there. I love it.
We know the owner of both of them, so that'd be awesome.
Okay. So, okay. One more. On my
Can
list.
a trail pattern be too complicated, Tim?
Is that?
We're going back to a serious question here, and I'm going to get you with a question as well. Somebody asked, Elizabeth Brawler, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, can a trail pattern be too complicated?
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a laboratory, right? It's a laboratory for me. Like, A, you got to know the level of your competition. B, you got to know how much time you have. Okay. C, you got to know how many poles you have, size of your arena, all these parameters. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You can make a course too hard. You can make it too complicated. I've witnessed it. Maybe I've done it a few times back in 95 or something, but
he's keeping it real, people.
You know, I've learned to tone down and only be intricate hard at when there's only 15 or 20 horses to play with. Chauffeur Doe, any of the finals and stuff like that. But, you know, especially here's another one. At the beginning of the season, no way. When it comes January 1st, don't get too carried away.
Sure about that? I'm keeping it real, Timmy.
You were in Florida. We side passed.
Not in Florida.
you know.
I didn't get to go. I was trying to, but I had truck
But in
problems.
Florida, you know, I was showing him the side pass. I showed him the side pass for the first 2 months, for sure, since March, 3 months. But I was trying to inspire them, you know, to say, you know, don't forget about the side passing. It's in play, you know, that I would like to use it more often because I should. The intricate obstacles, we had articles on that. We had to, you know, I just think it's another skill that you need to have.
I agree. I know that the Sun Circuit, some of the silver dollar circuit patterns, pretty tough for a green horse. For those of us that didn't go to Florida, those are our first patterns that we saw on some of our green horses. So keeping it real, I'm just saying, some of them are pretty tough.
No,
and on the other side of the tape measure, for my fellow exhibitors that were out there, I'm not the only one saying that.
how about this one? Since you judge the silver dollar circuit, okay, right? Was that enough course for the green?
Ooh, so
Especially as a flat.
yeah, absolutely it was. There was a lot that didn't get through it, Tim. So yes, there was plenty of course there. Absolutely.
It's a big class at the summer. You know, I do all the big shows, I feel like. So there's quite a quantity of horses, okay?
Yeah.
So, you know, I know the good ones are good, but I kind of want to separate a little bit, you know. You're right. You're right. I mean, I would like to tone it down if I can. So, what's my favorite obstacle? The donut. The donut.
The donut. We don't even see the donut anymore.
No, because I bring it out when when it's special. The donuts went special, and I got time. Okay, I have another.
This is a question. Do you feel like the trail class can have too many entries to have accurate scoring judging? Example, 100 to 130 entries. I'll take that one.
Thank you.
No,
you're right.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I don't mean for that to come across rude, but I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
And the reality is, no, there are so many good trail horses. And you know what I think is an opinion of what I want to see and what the judge next to me wants to see. It's going to vary a little bit, but I can tell you that at the Silver Dollar Circuit, our sponsor over here, when I judged 100 senior trail horses or whatever, me and my other judges had very similar top 10. I don't know if we had the same first place or not, but as I heard the results being called and stuff. So what I'm saying is, I think the level 2s that they're allowing in AQHA now are really kind of helping all that.
Right.
But I feel it's pretty easy to find your top 10 horses. Is that Bobby Brown or who's that barking in there?
Jimmy Choo. Jimmy Choo. Okay, so my little add on to that is too, the hardest part about that is just breaking the ties. I think you guys layer it out. I just think when you
but it's interesting. I didn't have a lot of ties on the first 5. Now maybe 6 through 10 might have a tie here and there, but not very many. Not very many.
I think it separates.
Becky George is on.
You just have to use the system, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's what it's in place for, to use the system.
Especially early, right? Especially early in the class. What else do we have? Or do you want me to my question?
No, I have another question for you. Yep. Gino wants to know when we're going to see that donut, but he kind of has a picture of a donut like that you eat. So you can just send a box of donuts to Gino and you'll make him super happy.
Gino, Tommy, Jason, all my friends love the donut. So let's bring them.
Becky's saying hello to Jimmy Choo.
Yeah, hi, Rebecca.
So I want to reverse that question to you. Where do you and Tina like to go eat? What's your favorite thing to go do when you go, not to go do, but what's your favorite food? Where do you like to go eat when you go out?
So here goes. Two answers, okay? When in Oklahoma, Charleston's. We go.
Oh, come on. They got to make it harder than that.
No, but listen, because I go to Oklahoma all the time. She doesn't get to go to all the Oklahoma shows, so I
Really?
eat there every night, right?
Uh-huh.
We know everyone there. When we're at
We
home,
watch the basketball when it's in season, right there, Charleston's every night.
when we're at home, you know where? MOT's Diner, right here. That's where we rather eat.
You're a stay-at-home diner.
Yeah, we rather eat at home than go out.
Good for
Actually,
you, man.
yeah, I like to cook. It's easier. She comes in, she'll come in at 8 o'clock or something like that from work, and it's a lot easier to cook at home than it is to go out and go somewhere. Never have the time.
Yeah.
Never long enough, right? Great question. Yeah.
Do we want another online question?
Yep. Go ahead.
What size horse do you think makes the best trail horse? The smaller, compact ones or the taller ones? You want to take it or you want me to take it?
That's you.
It's me?
That's you.
I say it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. All day long.
I mean, I've had both.
All day long.
I've had 16 16 two-hand horses that have the perfect stride. It's nice and slow-legged. It's proper distance to everything. They don't feel like they have to be rushed. And then you have a horse that maybe has a shorter stride, but it's a little bit shorter horse, but it is completely comfortable, having a little bit more rhythm to its stride, right? Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean it can't be pretty and it can't be clean. So not to make light of that question, but I don't have a preference. I like a horse that loves to do the trail, and 90% of them really kind of like it.
So Rebecca says size doesn't matter. So it doesn't.
That's right, Rebecca. Size does not matter.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. I want to do my question. Can I do mine real quick? Sure. I'm going to tell it to you while you're looking down there, Bradford. Okay. What maneuvers do you like to see in a youth or amateur level horsemanship pattern at a typical horse show?
Okay, repeat that one more time.
Yeah. So what maneuvers do you like to see in a pattern? Like if you're judging
horsemanship pattern?
Yep. And it's like 14 through 18 or level 3, level 2 amateur course. Like tell me something that intrigues you that you always like to see, that it's a great test of someone's ability. Doesn't have to be a lot, just one or two.
Yeah, I like to see a lot of transitions to the walk. It can be from the extended trot, it can be from the lope. Because what happens after that, how they get to the walk, and then what happens in that walk can really dictate to me how much of a rider is riding that horse. Because as trainers, we spend a lot of time loping the horse to make sure that that horse isn't going to run off or do something that we don't want it to do. So that sounds like a really basic answer, but I love the turnaround as well. I think the turnaround has a lot to do with it, because as we talked earlier about it, when we have when we have improper balance and harder maneuvers, it really shows up even more. Right. So in other words, if I taught that horse to turn around really fast, then that rider's not balanced and not asking that horse to do it, is going to show up a little bit more, right? Or if they're a little scared about going a little bit faster or whatever. So, the lope with speed, I think, can sometimes get out of hand. I think a lot of people run too fast and get rewarded sometimes, keeping it real, people. Get rewarded for just going fast, and don't get rewarded for going fast with feel and control, slowing down, preparing for the next obstacle. So to me, when it says lope with speed and collect the lope, it doesn't mean do it out of control. It means I want to see that rider be able to hold its position and be able to stay in that position, right? I don't want to see it going up and that rider's butt coming out of that saddle, flopping around, and then somebody humming to their horse, slowing down and being able to sit really nice and still and quiet. I'm sorry, I'm not digging that a whole bunch. I don't have anybody in my head necessarily I'm thinking about. I'm just saying, like, when I'm judging, what I want to see is connection, feel, flow, right? That's what I want to see.
Sounds good. Yeah, great answer. Great answer.
There was a good question up here. Where is it? Oh, Troy Oakley. How much of the horse's movement plays in your opinion of the trail? Good mover over an average mover? in my opinion, in your opinion?
Well, let me tell you this before you do your thing. It's up to me to decide how much I want to show that too, right? Because some courses, if you don't lope very far, it's hard to judge that because you're more worried about the wood than the movement sometimes. And then there's some patterns that I lope you like a mile, just because I want to see if you can judge distance from a long distance, or circular a lot. Here's my problem right now. It's in play. Definitely, you know, it's hard to have an average mover nowadays because there's so many good movers playing the game. Okay.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because of some of the patterns that need speed or time, I have to trot lope them a lot. You know, I got to cover some ground to get some maneuvers so you can have 10, 11 maneuvers because it's hard to judge when you only have 8 maneuvers.
Right.
So it's kind of like me too. What I do to you guys, do I keep you tight where you can't see that movement so much? You're more worried about the wood, or do I let them open their pleasure horses up or the good movers up and let them show that?
That's the beauty of the event that you help build and create to be such a amazing event, right? And that's why, because we can have so many different winners.
Right.
So my kind of response to that, Troy, is show what you've got. If it's an average mover, show it to the best, right? If it's a great mover, show it to its best. I don't have a preference other. The biggest thing for me when I'm watching somebody show trail horsemanship, is the P word. You know what that word is? PLAN, is having a plan. And when I know that rider has a
plan,
or that horse has a rider that has a plan, I will see that plan starting to unfold. And that rider knows the kind of horse that they have, whether we talked about earlier, when it was a shorter strided horse, needs to go a little bit stronger, or a bigger horse with a longer stride, or just has a longer stride, or a prettier, you know, length to his front leg or whatever. To me, there's really pretty movers. And you can see that when an open rider shows the horse and then an amateur or youth comes in and shows the horse, and you're like, wow, where'd that pretty mover go? Well, movement's all thrown out the window at this point, right? So that is different than the pleasure. You are having to adjust that horse's stride. So who adjusts that horse's stride the best and rides with that horse the best, right? Who can say, oh, I need to open that horse's stride up to 6.5 feet or 7 feet and bring it back, like on your when you're talking on the patterns that you want to open them up and you want to lengthen them, or okay, now I got to take a shorter dip. Like, who knows how to do that kind of thing, right? So that I don't know if that made it more confusing or if it, you know, answered any questions, but as a judge, that's kind of the way I kind of perceive it. As a horse trainer, that's kind of the way I perceive it.
You know, there's a lot of times nowadays I'll make you show the extension, right? I'll make you lope with forward motion a little bit and then bring them back to a normal lope. There's a lot of times I'll put that 12-foot gap in there where it's a 2-stride rule, even a 3 landing stride rule, where I'll force you to rock and roll a little bit, right? You know, there's things I can do too that influences that game too a little bit. And I take that in consideration. Like, I do want the good movers to win, no doubt. But I want to make the playing field fair where an average mover has to do some stuff. And that's probably why we bring back the side pass. Maybe that's why we bring back the more intricate stuff, because then the playing field gets a little leveler where you're not judged on movement because you're judged on skill.
Right.
So that's why in 2020, you'll see more stuff that's skill leveled to balance out for the good movers.
Did everybody hear that? Did everybody just hear what he just said?
2020, 2020, right?
And if you've already been at horse shows where Tim has had his patterns laid out, then you will already kind of known that, because there hasn't been a pattern yet that didn't have a side pass in it. So he's saying he's bringing back some of those
intricate
maneuvers.
Yeah, the skill, you know, the skill level, right? I think that balances that, just the balances things out a little bit, for sure.
Absolutely. We got any new questions coming on at all yet?
Well, hang on. Maybe we should do a commercial real quick.
Commercial? We can run our, yeah, well, let's give our sponsors some due. How about that? We're going to run our intro. For those of you that were not here earlier, we're going to run our intro just to kind of give our people that help make this happen. Pay attention.
I'm Brad Jewett.
I'm Tim, the Trailman.
And now, keeping it real. Sponsored by Heinz Ranch Jeans, Blue Ribbon Custom Tack, Letchworth Bits and Spurs, JewettEquine.tv, Chauffeur Dove, Silver Dollar Circle, and now Brad and Tim.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Gino, you had asked me a question. I want to be sure. Gino, Letchworth Bits and Spurs, Gino. Did you get to see the logo there? Look at that bit. Look at that bit. Pretty bit. Want to be sure that we definitely give a big shout out to all our sponsors above here. We thank them so much. And anybody that wants to be a part of this kind of first ones to ever really do anything like this. And, you know, we want to open this up while we're kind of on the subject. We want to open this up to eventually have little guest spots. We're going to get some phone calls going in here as well to where we don't just see your text, but we get to hear your voice, get to hear some more of your feedback, because there's so many great horsemen on here that we want to hear from. So let's be continuing to tune in with, of course, all of this costs a little bit of money. So not to keep slaying on that, because I always hate asking for money, but unfortunately all of this takes that. So anybody that believes in what we're doing, let us know best you can. Help us out. We have a new question, Tim. I got a question.
Yeah.
Martin Dastow. I've always wanted to say that name because it's a cool name. Dastow.
Martin, I get it.
As a judge, when watching the trail, do you prefer the horse to do serpentines? Well, this is a long question. I didn't open it up. Serpentines or a trot with the correct foot, or are you one that wants more cadence, rhythm? I know some horses do both, but if you get one that may get the wrong foot over, still has the rhythm and cadence, do you prefer that or the one who gets the correct foot?
Dusto.
Dusto?
Dusto.
Is that right? Because I've never really asked him, but I'm going to ask him now. Maybe he can phonetically put it out there.
On something? Can I go first?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
It depends on how I set that serpentine. Sometimes I'll set that serpentine where you have no angle to slice it, because I like to do that. Okay. But anytime those poles are in alignment like this, head and tail, then you definitely ought to get your correct foot over the pole. You ought to show good cadence. You ought to be able to show that both feet is a good lead foot. Yeah. Like some leads with a strong foot first, a weak leg second. And you want the horse that's being strong on both sides and not just strong on one side.
Yeah. So I'll follow up with that. Okay. So the follow up is I personally, I understand exactly what you're talking about, because as a judge, when I'm sitting there in my chair, I know exactly what I want to see. I want to see the correct foot and I want to see it out of cadence. Right. But what is drives me a little bit nuts, not in a bad way, like, oh, I think they're bad, or they're a bad trainer or a bad exhibitor or anything like that. But you see people so obsessed about the right foot that it makes it into an ugly serpentine. So to me, cadence overpowers the correct foot. Now, if you get the right cadence and the correct foot, that's going to give you the best opportunity to get the biggest score on that maneuver that you can, correct? You know, in cadence leading up to that maneuver, all of those things come into play when you're trying to get a +1.5 out of that maneuver. Like you pick up your jog, say you're jogging away from the gate and you're jogging to that first pole, to the serpentine pole, and it's supposed to be your right foot. And you got that. I have my count in my head, and the count that your horse has with his footfall is the same count I have in my head as a judge. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that horse meets the correct foot with the correct, not having to guide. And then you make it over that pole with the same rhythm, guiding back very simply with the same cadence, getting the right count of that foot. Now you're talking about, okay, you may have 2 or 3 more poles left in that serpentine. And if I'm keeping that count in my head and you're giving me the correct footfall, it's a +1.5. Now, if you're giving me the correct cadence and something comes up with the wrong foot, but your cadence still stays good, and maybe you get 1 pole that's maybe the wrong foot, +1 maybe, right? That's still a great score. +0.5, maybe 2 poles. I can still +0.5. It's hard for me to +1.5 somebody that goes through there with the wrong foot over continuously in there. I'm not saying they can't get a half. Sometimes I'll credit the horse, even though the rider possibly didn't do it correctly, but that horse, I'll +0.5 it. It's just, it's the difference we're talking between a 1.5 and a 0, +0.5, +1, right? So I'm giving you my best case scenario. And I would be interested to say that probably everybody, any judges that are on here are probably going to, on our group here, are probably going to be in the same vein.
So 2 things here. One, they ask which is the correct foot. So if you're going to the pole and the pole's on your left side, it'd be your left front foot would be your lead foot over the pole.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then they ask about the gate poles. It work the same for the gate pole. And I say, yes, right? You still, when you back up away from that gate and you walk to that pole, we both know as you're walking that pole, which foot ought to be the lead foot, which is the inside foot closest to the pole, right? Yep. And how you maneuver that and how he maneuvers his back feet too, we can tell, what looks good and what looks bad.
Tim, I got the best question of the night right here, brother.
Got it.
Tim.
Yes.
This is from my biggest mentor that I've had in my career, Robert Chown. I would like Tim to talk about Bobby and Plain Old Smoke.
Yep. Got it. Fair question.
There's more. How that time influenced him and how he went from that time to Trailman.
Okay. So before MOT,
I want to hear this.
Before MOT, Man of Trail, Tim the Trailman, I was Tokyo Tex, Kamikaze Cowboy.
Tokyo Tex?
Yeah.
We may have to get Tokyo Tex to be a sponsor because I'd like to see that logo. That's awesome.
Kamikaze Cowboy, Sukiyaki Jockey. Those are all my nicknames. So when I was younger, and I did ride with Bob Ingersoll for many, many, many years, okay? And he was sad is when I was young, I wanted to be a horse trainer, be this guy, but he taught me so much and I didn't know. That was a funny part about it. And I was his worst student. I was the bad one because I wasn't a good rider. I didn't have feel. I didn't know my leads very well. It was a hot mess. But luckily, I learned how to show. Luckily, the gods up there were helping me, and they gave me great horses. I had the best opportunity to learn from Bobby. I stayed summers at his house.
I bet. I've heard a lot of your stories with him.
But I was the last one he would school at night because I'd get him so mad. I'd get him so mad that he wouldn't want the other ones to get a bad lesson. So he always left me for last. It was kind of sad.
Yeah, you didn't want to make him pissed off the whole day while he was.
And the next morning at breakfast, he'd come out and said, I just don't know about you, Timmy. Shakes his head at me. And I go, I try so hard, but I just don't get it sometimes. And then I had to be the guy who had to turn back, let the cows out, go bring the cows in. I was the grunt. I was grunting.
That's probably how so many of your trail, because remember, he's asking how you went from that to that. So anything in there that inspired you to become Man of Trail? Opening up all those gates and letting the cows in or out?
I had to do that. I so get that, right? Fair question. So, I just learned after I did my cow horse, my fraternities. One year I did the Snafflebit fraternity. I managed that thing, 94 at Fresno.
You managed it?
Yeah. Is that not weird? Yeah. I was executive director in RCHA.
Seriously? Dude, high five. That's awesome.
I learned the insides of that. That's so interesting. Yeah. We did at Fresno Convention Center, Cylinder Arena, right?
Hi, Holly Hover. Welcome.
toughest job I ever did, but we got it done. I got it done. But
Yeah.
then from there, I worked a lot of horse shows. I judged a little bit, and I learned how to do trail. My friend Michael Damiano, see, I know he's on there tonight. Him and I, did a lot of trail courses together. He wanted to judge. He gave me a lot of his jobs, and off I went. That's how it went.
Yeah.
Just got better at it. I got better at it.
Awesome.
Where was the first horse show you judged?
I was just thinking about that. Reedley, California.
Central Valley Saddle Club. His very first horse show.
Saddle Club. First horse show. We'll have to pull that. I don't have that picture up on here right now. We'll have to pull that picture up sometime and show y'all my first horse show that I ever judged. It was single judge horse show. They don't have those anymore, right?
Keeping it real, right?
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was interesting.
Great question.
How's everybody Kona doing back there?
He's actually in there eating.
Really? He finally got a break after all day today?
Yeah. Production guy eating. It's not fair.
Great job.
Tim, did you used to have long hair?
Yes. That was vogue, man. It was like over my ears. Back in the day, over my ears.
We had those pictures on here, I think, last night. Carrie Oakley just asked that question.
Hi, Trig. I've seen Trig.
And Holly Hover says you're not just a trail man, you are the cow horse man as well.
When you show cow horses, you can't be afraid of speed, right? That's why it was like Kamikaze Cowboy, because they would tell me I would go down the fence and there's an angle that shouldn't be. The angle is so bad, but I would go for it. And I had great horses. Smoke would he would turn. That sucker, he could turn around now. And he'd always get me around, get me out of trouble. So, I'm old now. I'm heavy now. I have no balance. I haven't done that for years.
So, Tim, let's give away a gift certificate.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about we do a $50 gift certificate to Kimes Ranch?
Yeah.
You can get one of these cool caps.
Yep. What's
a good trivia question? Well, I'm gonna let you, and everybody, this is like spur of the moment. I did not prep him for this, but we want to give away. Tell you what, we'll do 2 questions, and this is how we'll do it. Okay, you got to answer on here before the show is done. All right, and we're gonna give $50 gift certificate to Kimes Ranch. And then we're going to give a $50 gift certificate to, and you can do some research here if you need to, Tim, because we need 2 questions. But we're going to do a $50 gift certificate to Letchworth Bits and Spurs as well.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
All right. So again, we are going to do a $50 gift certificate to Kimes Ranch Jeans. And we are also going to do a $50 gift certificate to Letchworth Bits and Spurs right here, Kimes Ranch Jeans right here. All right. So heads up, Tim's getting his questions together here. Oh, that's a good question, Micah. We'll see while we're waiting for somebody to answer.
I can't.
We'll do that.
So this is gonna be tricky. So, because I'm gonna.
Are you ready?
Well, yeah.
Okay, because if you're not ready, I got things to talk about. As usual. I like to talk.
Go.
So are you ready? Okay, you're not ready. So Melvin Yoder, do you prefer continuous circle on the gate or do you like 90 after the pole? Both ways. I don't prefer. I prefer you to get through the gate very efficient. Efficient. I love that word efficient, especially in the trail. I don't want you to make it look like it takes you pulling out your physics book in order to get through the gate. And I don't like to make it look like you're scaring me when you go through the gate either. Like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter whether you did a 90, whether you walk continuous or whatever it is. I just want you to grab the gate back, get through the gate. If you want to kick the hip here or there, kick the hip here or there. That's fine. Hey, Kona, can I get you? I'm trying to get Kona in here because I just saw you texted me something.
Yeah.
So that is my preference at the gate. Tim, do you have a preference at the gate?
I missed it. I'm sorry.
So somebody wants to know, do you like him to just do the gate with a continuous circle around the gate, or do you like them to kick their hip on a 90, do all that piece?
Back on the diagonal. Like I always say, it's a rope gate on the side that you're opening, and it's more like a solid gate when you go around over the pole after the pole. So, like as you back, the trick is not to make too big of a hole so the cows get out.
Do this picture and so we can get it on here. Yep.
So as long as you don't feel like you got control of the hole, that's the part I worry about. Because back in the day at Bobby's, I don't want those cows to get out, right? As you're loading those cows up. So you back up, you open the gate big enough, okay? So you can get over that pole, plus not make such a big hole. It's after they get over that pole when they walk forward more. I really hate that. After they go over the pole and they keep going. Am I off? Am I muted? I lost you.
All right. Oh, sorry. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Sorry, man. I had to mute it because we have your trivia question ready.
Okay. But
all right. So you want me to post it?
Yep. Show them the picture.
Okay. So here it is. First one to answer. And I'm watching it right here. So the first, I got to get it back up. The first one to answer it is going to win the $50 gift certificate from Kimes Ranch.
So before you post it, let me say the question.
Okay, that's a great idea.
So the question goes like this. I'm going to post you a pattern. Okay. It was at one of the world shows, youth, amateur, select, or senior world shows from 1995 till 2019. So tell me the year of this course that I brought you, plus which class or division it was at. Was it prelims, finals, whatever it was?
This is going to be fun.
Okay.
Here we go. Got it?
That's the picture. Yep. Yep. Because that's my version right there.
I see he cut off the cut off the what world show it was. Yes. All right, so I'm watching.
So it can be any,
repeat the question. Repeat the question.
So what world show was this? Or what world show class was this? Okay. Prelims, finals, whatever. Was it open, amateur, select, youth, whichever show you think it was, and the year in the class? You need to know the answer? Did I text you the answer?
Not yet. I just posted your question on the chat.
Yep.
Okay. What world show class was this pattern at? Year and class. Carrie Nowacek, Youth World 2006.
No.
No. Mary Manili, Select 2017.
Nope. Nope.
Monica Brandt, just wanted to say hi.
Winner. Give that girl a winner.
And we need to have Tim's finished gate on your gate question. You can finish that right now if you want to finish your gate while we're waiting for.
I was just saying, as you open that gate and you're backing away, you can have a small hole that's in front of you to get some momentum to get over that pole. But then once you go over that pole and you start making that turn, don't go forward toward the second standard and make a butt from your horse's rear end to that gate, a big hole, because that's where the cows are going to get out and you can't see them. That's why I like covering that hole up after you make that turn like a solid gate after you cross over that pole.
Sorry, Pete. Pete said Select World 2016.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, we'll give you a hint. It was a prelim pattern.
Okay, fair enough. It was a prelims.
It was a prelims in one of them. It wasn't a finals pattern.
What division? What year? What division? What year?
No, waiting. Bueller.
No.
Nobody yet.
Hey.
2009 Youth World.
No, come on, you guys.
No, that was Lena.
That's a Lena. Lena, you think Lena? There's a file you can go look through the binders back there, right?
Maya, 2008 Senior Finals. No.
This is so funny.
What class? And I'm gonna say and or year. So now.
Okay.
So now we're just getting to.
How about the year?
Give us the year. You don't even have to say what the, if it was select or amateur. What year was it? Micah Hansen, 2005.
No.
No. I'm about to up this to like a $75.
I know.
You're getting some people stumped.
218. No.
DC Campbell, 2018.
No. Hi, Bo.
2011.
No. Heidi, you should have the collection. Why can't you go look in the files?
2015. Heidi Lane, 2015.
No. 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 No.
2000.
No. 210.
2010.
No. 208. No. 213. No. 207.
2008.
No. 205. No. Come on. 207. No. 203.
No.
203. Maya Dawn.
Who got it?
203. Maya Dawn.
Maya Childers winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Good job, Maya. I hope you have a binder full of my patterns.
Okay. So, whoa. So, for the $50 gift certificate to Letchworth, which show was it at? The answer was 2003, because everybody's still texting in. Maya Childers got it right. Which show was it at?
Oh, it's cheating.
Huh?
It's all right.
You watching, Tim?
I know. 216, no. 1998. What do you mean, what show was it?
Was it amateur,
which
select, junior, senior? What was it? Come on. Who getting it first?
Nope,
we have the year. It's 2003. We have the year. It was 2003.
Yep, I agree. Youth is no.
Youth is a no.
Of course I do. Anybody else? Select, no. You guys are getting warm.
I'm coming. I'm going to kill the screen.
Yep, kill the screen. Amateur, no.
Amateur, no.
Kelly
There's not that many out there.
World show in Oklahoma City. We're getting warm now. Yeah, you're
amateur,
the
no.
Senior, like Micah.
World show in Oklahoma City. Well, that encompasses a lot.
No,
Open senior Holly Hover. Holly Hover gets it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 2003 AQHA World Show Trail Senior Horse Prelims. Thank you all for playing. We have Maya Childers with the Kimes Ranch gift certificate, and we have Holly Hover with the, show the bit, Tim, the Letchworth bit. So our time has kind of come to an end here, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you all for playing The Price is Right. I'm just kidding. For playing Name That Trail Course with Tim Kimura. There'll be much more of this coming on. So we are off Saturday and Sunday, but we will be blasting it on Monday. Everybody, please go like Keeping It Real Facebook page.
How about
Keeping It Real Facebook page. We need you to go there because we are going to be streaming from Keeping It Real, not from Brad and Tim. So please go and like Keeping It Real on Facebook. And we are going to come up with an amazing group for you next week. We're going to have some people on here with us like we did yesterday. We want to thank again Karen Graham, Leonard Berryhill for yesterday's amazing. We had an amazing group watching yesterday. So we thank them because they were a huge part of that. We thank them for their just their time. We may even have them back on because I know there was a lot more that they wanted to say that we wanted to ask that you guys wanted to ask as well. So thank you everybody for coming. We are going to be promoing out of here.
See you next week. See you Monday.
I'm Brad Jewett.
I'm Tim the Trailman.
Keeping It Real. Sponsored by Kimes Ranch Jeans, Blue Ribbon Custom Tack, Letchworth Bits and Spurs, JewettEquine.tv,
Chauffeur Dove, Silver Dollar Circuit. This has been a Hona Camp production.